Have you ever felt it? That inexplicable warmth, that kind of profound surge of satisfaction that just washes over you after you've, helped someone out.
Oh, absolutely.
It could be something big, right?
Yeah.
A significant act of kindness.
Yeah.
Or maybe just something incredibly small, like holding a door open for a stranger almost without thinking.
Instinctive, yeah.
Or, truly, genuinely listening to a friend who's hurting. Not fixing, just listening.
Just being present, that's powerful.
That distinct feeling, that little inner glow. It's pretty universal, isn't it?
Definitely. It's like a little internal reward signal.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
your brain just gave you a quiet high five. But have you ever stopped to wonder, is that just a fleeting good mood, a temporary lift? Or is there something, I don't know, deeper, almost secretly beneficial happening inside us when we reach out?
That's the core question, isn't it?
What if giving isn't just about, selfless sacrifice, about using up your own energy for someone else? What if it's actually a powerful, maybe even essential catalyst for our own happiness, our well-being, even how long we live? So today, we're not just philosophizing. We're diving deep into the joy of giving, how helping others secretly boosts your own happiness. And this isn't just some nice idea, right? It's backed by science, psychology, even history, with huge implications for our lives. So, okay, let's unpack this.
But that's fascinating here, and really what we want to do today is shift perspective, fundamentally. Because for centuries, the common view of altruism has been exactly that, purely self-sacrificial.
Right, like you give until it hurts.
Precisely. The word itself kind of conjures up images of putting others so far ahead that your own needs just disappear. And philosophers, biologists, psychologists, they've grappled with this for ages. Egoism, self-interest versus altruism, other interest.
Always seen as opposites, basically.
Almost always viewed as these opposing forces,
Yeah.
Locked in this, perpetual struggle within us. But our mission in this deep dive is to challenge that old binary. We're going to explore how helping others actually functions as this powerful reciprocal engine for our own health, mental, physical, emotional.
So not a zero-sum game.
Not at all. It's a positive feedback loop. And to really get this, we'll introduce a compelling ethical framework. It's called the Enlightened Self-Interest in Altruism Model, EC for short.
Easy. Yeah.
And this model completely reevaluates what altruism means. It argues it's not just possible, but maybe even necessary for our own well-being to align with the well-being of others. It opens up a path that's sustainable, deeply rewarding, especially for people in tough roles like healthcare, but honestly, for anyone. Anyone looking to align their own interests with helping those they serve. Finding synergy, not conflict.
Synergy, not conflict. That makes sense. And it leads us right into the core argument, doesn't it? This intertwined nature of giving and receiving. You know that feeling we mentioned, that rush of satisfaction, or maybe just a deep peace after you've helped someone.
The helper's high.
Yeah, the helper's high. Especially when you see you made a difference or someone appreciates it. That internal cheer, you called it a reward signal. And it turns out this isn't just some vague feeling. Our brains are literally wired for it.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more what's actually going on in our heads there?
Absolutely. And here's where it gets really interesting, because the science is solid. This isn't just a nice little notion. It's fundamental human neurobiology. Studies using fMRI, that's functional magnetic resonance imaging, have given us these incredible windows into the brain.
Brain scans, right?
Exactly. And they consistently show that when people do pro-social things, donating money, volunteering, even just thinking about helping specific brain regions light up, we're talking mainly about the ventral striatum.
Ventral striatum. Okay. Is that important?
It's hugely important. It's not some obscure corner. It's the same part of your brain involved in pleasure and reward from all sorts of things. Think about it. Eating delicious food, winning a game, physical pleasure, seeing attractive faces. Your ventral striatum is active. It's a core part of the brain's reward system. So the fact that the same region responds to giving, it suggests generosity is inherently rewarding, neurologically.
So your brain is basically saying, yes, do that again.
Pretty much. It's not just a nice thing to do. Your brain is actively reinforcing it. And the neurochemical story is just as compelling. It's not just about brain regions lighting up. Helping others triggers a release of feel-good chemicals. Oxytocin and endorphins are the big ones here.
Oxytocin, the love hormone.
Often called that, or the cuddle chemical. It's crucial for social bonding, trust, empathy. When you connect through giving, oxytocin surges, strengthening that bond, making you feel warm, content, and endorphins.
Those are your body's natural painkillers and mood elevators. They create a sense of euphoria, reduce stress.
Similar to a runner's high, actually.
All right.
So when you help someone, your brain literally thanks you with this potent cocktail. You feel happier, more connected, less stressed. This science really shifts the whole perception. Giving isn't purely selfless. It yields immediate, tangible, internal rewards. It's built into us.
That's absolutely fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
So if our brains reward us for giving, it sounds like it sets up a powerful loop, like you said.
Okay.
Is it just a one-way street, though? Giving makes us happy, end of story? Or is there more to it?
That's a fantastic question. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's definitely not a one-way street. It's a truly powerful, self-reinforcing, positive feedback loop, a virtuous cycle. Research consistently shows happier people tend to give more, and then their giving makes them even happier.
Which leads to more giving.
Exactly. It's like this upward spiral of well-being. To really illustrate this, there's a classic experiment. Dunn and colleagues back in 2008.
I think I've heard of this one.
Probably. It was brilliantly simple. They approached people randomly in public, checked their baseline happiness, then gave them either $5 or $20. Here's the twist. One group had to spend it on themselves' personal spending. The other had to spend it on others' pro-social spending. By the end of the day.
And then they checked happiness again.
Yep. Reassessed their happiness levels later that day. And the key finding was genuinely remarkable. People assigned to spend on others reported significantly higher happiness compared to those who spent on themselves.
Wow. Even with just $5.
That's the truly surprising part. The amount of money, $5 versus $20, had virtually no influence. None at all.
So it wasn't about the size of the gift.
It was how the money was spent. That was the crucial factor. It suggests even small acts, buying someone a coffee, a small donation, can yield significant hedonic gains. Big boosts in pleasure and well-being.
It's the act, not the price tag.
Exactly. And what's even more compelling is how this connects to memory and future behavior. Follow-up studies showed that just remembering a time you spent money on someone else made people happier than remembering spending on themselves.
Just the memory gave them a boost.
Yes. And that happiness boost from the memory, it directly predicted a higher likelihood of choosing to spend pro-socially again in the future.
So it really solidifies that loop. Giving makes you happy, remembering makes you happy, which makes you want to give more.
Precisely. It nails that circular motion hypothesis. And this isn't just, a Western thing. There's preliminary evidence from studies in North America and Africa suggesting these links are pretty universal.
A fundamental human thing?
Could well be. Deeply embedded in our shared experience. A universal biological truth, perhaps.
That universal aspect, the giving happiness loop, and our brains being wired for it. It brings us back to that really old discussion, doesn't it? The one philosophers have wrestled with. This perceived tension between self-interest, egoism, and concern for others, altruism. It feels like for most of history, they've been seen as totally at odds. Can you walk us through that historical debate a bit? How did it shape how we see giving?
Indeed. It's a conversation as old as philosophy itself, really.
Yeah.
Ancient thinkers debated this constantly. Aristotle, for instance, talked about the primacy of self-love, but suggested that maybe our concern for others actually comes from a well-ordered self-love, like self-actualization.
Interesting. So even then, it wasn't purely black and white.
Not entirely. And Plato, in the Republic, explored how justice in society might emerge, maybe paradoxically, from the enlightened self-interest of people realizing cooperation benefits everyone.
So cooperation is self-interest.
In a way, yes.
Right.
But the dominant view, especially during the Renaissance and after, really leaned towards human egoism. The prevailing thought was, humans are fundamentally driven by self-interest. Any concern for others, just an extension of concern for ourselves. Self-preservation, maybe getting something back later.
So true altruism was seen as rare, or maybe impossible.
Pretty much. That was a common assumption. And this tension even showed up in Darwin's work. His whole theory of natural selection is based on individual egoism, right? Survival, passing on genes.
Right. Survival of the fittest individual.
Yet he observed things that puzzled him. Profound altruism. Self-sacrifice for the group, like in social insects.
Like bees or ants.
Exactly. Think of a worker bee, sterile, dedicating its whole life to the hive. Or an ant sacrificing itself defending the colony. That behavior, where an individual seems to reduce its own survival chances for the group's good, it challenged his theory directly.
How could that evolve if individual survival is everything?
That was the crux of it. It highlighted this deep, almost contradictory tension between individual drives and the cooperative behaviors essential for social animals, including us. But here's where the modern view, especially this Ischia model, enlightened self-interest and altruism, offers a real paradigm shift.
Okay, so Isho again. How does it shift things?
Instead of seeing egoism and altruism as enemies in a battle, Aetius sees them as intertwined, dynamic forces that can and often do converge in a mutually beneficial way.
Intertwined.
Like-
They work together.
Yes. The core idea is beautifully simple. The interests of the group are also, crucially, the interests of the self. This totally reframes that old narrative of self-sacrifice, especially in demanding fields like healthcare, social work, where burnout is so high.
Right, where it feels like you have to sacrifice yourself.
Exactly. But Issa says instead of altruism meaning draining yourself dry, it's a synergistic relationship, like two gears meshing perfectly. When you find personal fulfillment, when you meet your own needs, intellectual, emotional, physical, it actually enables you to serve others better, more sustainably.
So taking care of yourself helps you take care of others.
Precisely. And that service, in turn, brings deep personal rewards. Accomplishment, pride, that feeling of connection. It's about thriving through service, not just surviving it.
That makes so much sense. Reframing selfless into something sustainable, reciprocal. And this ISA model really shines a light on just how profound the mental and emotional benefits of giving are for the giver. For our listeners, what are some of the biggest mental and emotional boosts they might expect if they lean into this giving mindset?
That's a crucial next step, yes, because the benefits here are vast and really impactful. First off, just engaging in helping activities, especially ones involving social contact, working with others, it has a huge positive effect on overall psychological well-being.
Like a direct antidote to stress.
A powerful one, yes. It counteracts stress and anxiety effectively. Even simple things, like interacting with animals, volunteering at a shelter, maybe demonstrably improves mood and cuts stress. When you focus outward on helping, it naturally shifts your perspective away from your own worries. Plus, you build connections that buffer stress.
And what about things like loneliness or depression?
Volunteering and helping consistently can be incredibly potent tools against those. It keeps you in regular contact with others, naturally building a support system. That social interaction is critical for mental health, and giving offers an organic way to get it.
Makes sense. Like building community naturally.
Exactly. And then there's the boost to self-confidence. It's undeniable, doing good for others, for your community.
Yeah.
It provides this deep intrinsic sense of accomplishment, seeing your positive impact, knowing your role mattered, however small. It instills pride, reinforces your identity as capable, contributing.
And feeling better about yourself helps your outlook overall.
It's a direct feedback loop. More positive self-view leads to a more positive outlook on life, goals, challenges, builds self-esteem healthily. And crucially, for many people, especially during big life changes, retirement, job loss, personal loss, giving provides a powerful sense of purpose.
Finding meaning again.
Yes, it injects new meaning, direction, brings zest back, as some studies put it. It shifts focus from personal worries, keeps the mind stimulated, connects you to something larger than yourself. That feeling of purpose isn't just fleeting. It's foundational for sustained happiness, resilience, overall well-being. It grounds you.
It's incredible how these profound mental shifts then seem to ripple outwards, even into our physical health. It's not just in your head, like you said. The positive impacts actually hit our physical well-being in measurable ways. What's the research say there? How does giving make us physically healthier?
It's truly remarkable, the connection. Giving is a prime example of that mind-body synergy. One of the most consistent findings in public health, people who volunteer regularly show a lower mortality rate.
Wait, really? Lower mortality rate? Like they live longer?
The data points that way, yes.
Oh.
Helping others can literally correlate with a longer life. It's seen across numerous studies. The why is complex. Probably less stress, more activity, better social integration, stronger purpose, all contributing to healthier lifestyles, maybe better immune function.
Wow, that's significant.
It is. And the benefits can be more immediate, too. Studies on older volunteers consistently find they walk more, cope better with daily tasks, show better physical mobility overall.
So it keeps them more active and capable.
Seems that way. Like the act of giving itself promotes physical engagement. And think about cardiovascular health, a huge concern. Regular helping is linked to a lower likelihood of developing high blood pressure.
A major risk factor for heart disease and stroke.
Exactly. And some studies even indicate a lower risk of heart disease itself.
Right.
Probably due to the stress reduction effects we talked about. Chronic stress is terrible for the heart.
Makes sense. Less stress, healthier heart.
And perhaps even more surprising for some, Volunteering might even help lessen symptoms of chronic pain.
Chronic pain, how?
It's not a cure, obviously, but the distraction, the sense of purpose, the positive emotions involved, they can actually alter how someone perceives pain, making it feel more manageable. It's a powerful mind-body link.
That's incredible.
And here's what's truly universal and empowering about all this, these physical benefits. They're seen even in people with pre-existing disabilities or chronic conditions.
So it's not just for healthy people.
Not at all. People with vision loss, diabetes, mobility issues, they still experience these benefits. It highlights that the power of giving is accessible to almost everyone, regardless of current health. It's not about being healthy to help. It's about helping to become healthier.
That's incredibly empowering, accessible to almost everyone. And it tracks, doesn't it? If we feel better mentally and physically, our social lives probably get a boost too. For so many people, building and keeping social connections is tough. How does giving specifically help with that? Enhance relationships.
You've hit on a fundamental human need there, and this is where giving truly shines. It's a powerful antidote to loneliness. Volunteering, for instance, is just an excellent organic way to meet new people.
Better than awkward networking events, maybe?
Often, yes. If you're new somewhere or just want to expand your circle, it connects you naturally with people who share common interests, common values, a shared purpose. That immediately creates a foundation for belonging, for community. You're building relationships around something meaningful you're doing together.
And what about people who are maybe shy or introverted?
For them, structured helping environments can be ideal. Low-pressure spaces to practice social skills. By interacting regularly with a group around a common task, stocking shelves, walking dogs, helping at a festival, you build confidence gradually.
A safe sandbox for social growth, you called it earlier.
Exactly. The focus is on the task, which diffuses social anxiety. And the benefits extend powerfully into family life, too. It's a unique bonding opportunity.
Doing good together as a family.
Yes, preparing meals for a shelter, community cleanups, collecting donations. It lets kids see the positive impact firsthand and feel those intrinsic rewards. It's a tangible way to instill values, compassion, empathy, responsibility.
And learn about the community together.
Absolutely. It strengthens family bonds while enriching the community, creates shared memories, shared purpose. It turns giving into this really meaningful family experience.
So we've covered brain science, mental health, physical health, social connections. That's a lot. But what about the more, practical side? Does this joy of giving actually help with career advancement, skill development? It almost sounds too good to be true. Can being generous actually help you professionally?
It absolutely can, and it's probably one of the most underrated benefits of giving. Beyond all the other good stuff, giving offers surprising strategic advantages for your career and personal growth. It's a powerful tool.
How so? Like specific examples?
Okay, consider this. Volunteering lets you try out a new career path or gain experience in a totally different field without the big commitment of changing jobs.
Like testing the waters.
Exactly. Aspiring nurse, volunteer at a hospital or clinic. Get real, hands-on exposure you can't get from books. Considering environmental science? Volunteer with a conservation group.
Okay, that makes sense. Gaining experience.
And many volunteer roles offer extensive high-quality training. You could become a skilled crisis counselor, learning active listening, de-escalation, invaluable skills anywhere. Or volunteer at a museum, become knowledgeable in art history. These are real transferable skills for your resume.
So acquiring new skills too.
Definitely. And it's also a fantastic way to hone existing skills. Successful salesperson, volunteer as an advocate for a cause. You're developing public speaking, communication, persuasion in a new context. Good for the cause, good for your toolkit.
Using your strengths for good, basically.
Precisely. Graphic designer, do materials for a nonprofit. Software developer. Contribute to open source projects. Plus, volunteer work is phenomenal for networking.
Meeting people.
Meeting passionate people, often leaders in their fields. Building genuine connections based on shared purpose, not just business cards, can lead to mentors, internships, even jobs.
Okay, that's a clear career link.
And finally, don't underestimate the personal side. Meaningful volunteer work can be a relaxing, energizing escape from daily pressures. It fosters renewed creativity, motivation, vision that spills back into your work and personal life. Or it lets you pursue hobbies, passions, outside work, which builds fulfillment. It's holistic.
Those benefits are incredibly compelling, really cover all bases.
Yeah.
But for someone listening, maybe this sounds like it needs a huge commitment, a grand gesture. Does this joy of giving only come from big, structured things? Or can everyday kindness work too?
That's a critical point. And the answer is absolutely no. You don't need a major commitment or a grand gesture. The power of small, unexpected acts of kindness is immense. They create ripples of positivity, and they're accessible every single day.
Like what kind of small acts?
Think simple. Leave a kind note for a stressed coworker. Send an unprompted text to a family member saying thanks for something specific they did. Buy coffee for a friend just because. Let someone go ahead in line. Offer a genuine compliment. Pick up a piece of trash.
Things that seem almost trivial.
They might seem trivial, but their impact on giver, receiver, even observers can be profound. Micro moments of connection, warmth. And there's the thank you multiplier effect.
The what now?
The thank you multiplier. Even a simple, heartfelt thank you from the recipient, or just an appreciative nod from someone who saw the act. It can inspire both the giver and others to be more generous.
Ah, like kindness is contagious.
Exactly. It creates this exponential effect. That positive reinforcement makes the giver feel seen, appreciated, reinforcing the desire to give again. And to make giving even more rewarding for yourself, this connects back to enlightened self-interest, focus on the impact.
How your gift actually helps someone.
Yes. It's not just the act, it's knowing its effect. The more you believe your contribution is valuable, the more you understand how the receiver benefits. Seeing the smile, hearing the thanks, knowing you solved a problem, the deeper your satisfaction. It emphasizes thoughtful, intentional giving. Knowing your impact amplifies the joy.
That's such an important distinction, impact, not just action. So for listeners who are inspired to try something more structured, like volunteering, how do they find the right fit? Because like you said, a bad experience could just drain you, right? Not fill you with joy. How do you make it a rewarding hobby, not a chore?
You're absolutely right. The fit is paramount. A mismatch turns joy into burden quickly. The key is matching the opportunity to your unique personality, skills, interests, and realistically, your available time. So start with some honest self-reflection. Ask yourself, do I prefer working with adults, kids, animals, environmental causes, remotely from home?
Hands-on or behind the scenes?
Exactly. Alone or team, visible role or background support. How much time can I realistically commit? An hour, a few hours, a day. What specific skills do I bring? Organization, communication, tech skills, and most importantly, what causes genuinely resonate with me, stir my passion, align with my values.
Being specific helps narrow it down.
Immensely. The better the match, the more satisfying the experience. And research actually suggests a kind of sweet spot around 2-3 hours per week, maybe 100 hours a year.
Really? There's an optimal amount.
It seems to confer significant benefits for both volunteer and cause. Enough engagement to feel impactful, but not overwhelming. But the crucial element is it should feel like a fun and rewarding hobby, not another chore. If it feels like a burden, the benefits won't follow.
So how do you ensure it stays fun?
Ask questions before committing. Time commitment, training involved, team dynamics, support systems. Consider starting small. Don't overextend yourself immediately.
Dip your toe in first.
Exactly. And be flexible. If the first fit isn't right or your interests change, don't feel stuck. Talk to the organization, maybe change roles, or find a different organization. Prioritize enjoyment. If you're not enjoying it, figure out why. Is it the tasks, the people, just the newness? Pinpointing the issue helps you adjust or find a better match. Keep the joy central.
That's incredibly practical advice. And it loops back perfectly to that Ichi framework, enlightened self-interest and altruism. How does Ichi practically guide us in finding this balance, making sure our giving is sustainable, good for everyone involved?
This brings us right back to Isha in practice. Its core idea, remember, is creating an alliance between self-interest and service, not opposition. It fundamentally says that meeting your own needs sufficiently enables more effective, enduring service. Building a strong foundation in yourself lets you give without burnout.
Moving beyond that sacrifice culture.
Directly challenging it, especially in demanding professions like healthcare, where that culture is often ingrained. The long hours, the expectation of constant self-sacrifice.
Leading to burnout, empathy fatigue.
Exactly. Ashaya says, move towards self-fulfillment within your professional development. Personal well-being isn't selfish. It's foundational for sustained altruism. If you're burned out, you can't serve effectively or compassionately long-term.
So how does that look in practice? You mentioned student clinics.
Yes. Consider medical student-run clinics, SRCs. They provide vital free care. Students volunteer countless hours. A traditional view might just see that as an added burden, a sacrifice on top of schoolwork. But an Isha approach encourages students to actively see and appreciate the self-interests involved.
Like what? What's in it for them?
Tangible benefits. intellectual growth, applying knowledge, gaining invaluable clinical skills, building professional networks, and yes, experiencing the profound personal joy of service, seeing their direct impact.
Acknowledging the win-win.
Explicitly valuing those reciprocal benefits. This can boost volunteer engagement, improve care quality, expand outreach. It encourages us to ask openly without guilt, what do I get out of this?
Which sounds selfish, but isn't necessarily.
Exactly. It's not selfish. It's recognizing that cooperation, including altruism, persists best with reciprocity, direct or indirect. It acknowledges our natural need for reward and fulfillment. ESI integrates giving into a fulfilling career and life, not as an optional, draining add-on. It's about finding satisfaction, pride, connection in your generosity, making it sustainable and joyful.
That reframe makes so much sense for sustainability.
Yeah.
But all this talk about how good giving makes us feel, it brings up a really important nuance, almost a potential cost or something to be mindful of. This idea of actively incentivizing giving by emphasizing the personal benefits. What are the pitfalls there?
This is a truly fascinating and critical point. It highlights the need for thoughtful design and encouraging generosity. Because while advertising personal benefits, instant gratification, feel powerful, can boost donations or signups, there's a potential dark side. It's the phenomenon called crowding out intrinsic motivation.
Crowding out, meaning the external reward replaces the internal one.
Exactly. External incentives, whether money or even the promise of feeling good, can undermine or reduce someone's inherent internal drive for an activity. Think of classic examples. Paying kids for drawing, something they loved, sometimes made them lose interest once the rewards stopped.
Because it became a chore done for pay?
Precisely. Or historical arguments about paying for blood donations. Does it diminish the altruistic spirit, turn it into just a transaction? The core idea is, when social behaviors like helping meet economic or overtly self-interested incentives, people might shift from a social contract mindset to a cold cost-benefit analysis.
You mentioned a childcare example.
Yes, a famous one. A center introduced fines for late pickups. Paradoxically, lateness increased.
Increase why?
Parents started seeing it as a price, not a social obligation. Okay, I can pay this fee to be late. It became a transaction. And even when fines were removed, the old social norm didn't fully return.
Wow. Hard to undo.
Very hard. Studies even suggest the mere whiff of money can corrupt social motives. People might work harder for no pay than for a tiny payment that feels insulting, transactional.
So doing it for free feels better than doing it for a pittance.
Often, yes. And for people genuinely driven by pure altruism, just wanting to do good, appeals emphasizing self-benefit can feel alienating, like it cheapens their motive.
Like saying their pure desire isn't enough, or they should be doing it for selfish reasons.
Exactly. It can feel off-putting.
So what does this all mean for us then, as individuals or for organizations trying to encourage giving? It sounds like a really delicate balance. How do we highlight the real benefits without, accidentally undermining the purest motivations?
It really underscores the importance of thoughtful messaging and nuance. The personal benefits are real, powerful, and acknowledging them is key for sustainability, like we said with Isha. But organizations, and even us as individuals, must be supremely mindful of how these benefits are communicated. The goal should always be to enhance, not diminish, the intrinsic joy and altruistic drive.
Integration, not manipulation, maybe.
That's a great way to put it. Instead of give to feel good, which sounds transactional, maybe it's when you give, you discover a joy that sustains you, empowering you to give even more. Sharing the natural byproduct, not dangling it as the main carrot. Recognizing enlightened self-interest as an outcome that fosters sustainability, not just a marketing ploy. It's delicate, but essential for a truly generous society.
What a profound and fascinating deep dive this has been. Just incredible insights. So how would you distill the core message, the key takeaway from everything we've uncovered today about this joy of giving?
I think the core message is that the joy of giving isn't some secret, It's deeply ingrained, reciprocal, scientifically supported, part of being human. It's this powerful positive feedback loop. Kindness fuels our happiness, which inspires more generosity. It seems universal, wired into our biology. And true impactful altruism, like the Isai model suggests, isn't about burning yourself out through self-sacrifice.
Not self-flagellation.
Right. It's about intelligently aligning our own needs, our fulfillment with our desire to serve. That creates a sustainable, rewarding path for everyone involved, giver, receiver, community.
Synergy, not tension.
Exactly. So giving isn't just a moral duty or purely selfless. It's a profound, accessible way to boost our own well-being, improve our health, find deeper purpose, and build richer connections. It's genuinely a win-win, a blueprint for flourishing.
So think about that. Considering this whole symbiotic relationship between giving and getting happiness, how might this shift your perspective, listening right now, on your own generosity? How can you consciously cultivate this positive loop in your daily life? Not just to get by, but to really thrive. We invite you to consider where you might find your own enlightened self-interest in helping others today. Could be a simple, spontaneous kindness, exploring that volunteer role that sparks your interest, or even just reevaluating why you give now to maybe tap into more of that inherent joy, make it more sustainable. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the profound, maybe not so secret joys of giving and how it transforms us. Keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep connecting with the world around you in ways that lift both yourself and others. Until next time, keep diving deep into what makes life truly enriching.